What?
It says the alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus.
Let me hear the father. Babe, that's me, you're the father.
Is not
You the father.
You are the father!
Brace yourself, because what just leaked out of Zeus Network makes every Kardashian scandal look like a peaceful family picnic. I'm talking drama so radioactive that even TMZ said, yeah, we're sitting this one out. For months, the internet begged for clarity, prayed for answers, and screamed into the void about the real DNA test that Chrisean Rock has been dodging like it's a gym membership. But today the Zeus CEO himself, Lemuel Plummer, the man who gets paid to bottle chaos and sell it as reality TV, has finally snapped. And when Zeus snaps, someone's career catches on fire. According to insiders, Lemuel didn't just bring the receipts. He brought the entire filing cabinet. The real DNA test. The one Chrisean swore didn't exist. The one that wasn't filmed, edited, scripted, or dipped in Zeus glitter. And what's hiding in that envelope? Something so outrageous it could split the internet in half, like Moses parting the Red Sea of bad decisions. Because apparently Chrisean didn't just trick Blueface. She didn't just trick Zeus. Sis tricked everyone. Fans, producers, the shade pages, and even the poor guy at the DNA lab who ended up going viral for exposing the fake test. Buckle up. This isn't a story, it's a digital detonation. From the moment Chrisean Rock announced her pregnancy, the entire internet turned into a courtroom, a detective agency, and a group chat full of nosy aunties all at once. Everybody wanted to know one thing: who is the father? Blueface said it wasn't him. Ronnie said it absolutely was him. And Chrisean, she acted like DNA was just a suggestion, not an actual science. It was the biggest paternity mystery since Maury went off air and abandoned us to suffer in confusion. When the drama first erupted, Blueface made it clear he wasn't buying a single crumb of Chrisean's story. He insisted she was still messing with Ronnie, the ex-boyfriend who acted like he had a lifetime subscription to her location. Ronnie wasn't just confident the baby was his. He behaved like a man auditioning for the role of overprotective father on a reality show nobody asked for. He watched every live stream, pulled up to every location she accidentally leaked online, and treated her pregnancy like it came with a tracking number. As Chrisean bounced between chaos, arguments, and live stream meltdowns, Ronnie was everywhere. He showed up like the worst jump scare in a horror film. You'd think he was being paid by Zeus for appearances. All he wanted was that DNA test. All she wanted was to avoid it like it was jury duty. And Blueface. He was on the sidelines watching like a confused bystander waiting for someone to explain the plot. This is exactly when Zeus Network swooped in like the king of messy opportunists. Lemuel Plummer, who practically built an empire out of bad decisions and unhinged behavior, saw the drama and said, "Perfect. Roll cameras." The behind-the-scenes chatter was that Chrisean didn't want the real test because she already knew the answer. But Zeus wanted a storyline. They wanted that "you are the father" moment to ring louder than any wedding bells she would never hear. So Zeus decided to take matters into their own hands. They organized a DNA test for the show Crazy in Love, acting like they were delivering justice to the masses. The setup felt dramatic, the tension was high, the whole cast acted like this was a national emergency. And then came the big moment, the reveal, the scene Zeus thought would break the internet. The paper said Blueface was the father. Chrisean celebrated like she just won the heavyweight championship. Blueface forced a smile like he was trying not to pass out. But the internet was not convinced. People stared at that on-screen test like it was written on a napkin. The case number looked suspicious. The formatting looked strange. Something wasn't adding up. This wasn't Maury. This was Zeus, and Zeus has never been known for accuracy. Only entertainment and the occasional FISTFIGHT. Fans started investigating. It only took one determined viewer with unlimited free time and curiosity levels higher than rent prices to notice the case number didn't make sense. That's when someone called the DNA testing company. Not just once, but twice, because apparently even customer service was confused. They read out the case number. The worker on the phone said the sample did not match Chrisean, did not match Ronnie, did not match Blueface, and did not match anyone related to the chaos we were watching. The company revealed the truth. The case number belonged to a completely different couple from a completely different year. The baby wasn't theirs. The samples weren't theirs. The test wasn't theirs. It was like someone walked into the office and said, "Give me any random file. We just need something that looks official." This discovery sent shockwaves through the internet. Zeus had staged the entire thing. The test was a prop, a storyline enhancer, a plot twist made out of thin air. Fans dragged the network with the fury of 1,000 disappointed viewers. People accused them of fabricating results for views. They said Zeus cared more about ratings than reality. And for once, the viewers were absolutely right. Meanwhile, Chrisean pretended not to notice the uproar. She held onto the fake result like it was the key to her survival. Blueface stayed silent, collecting checks like a man who knew the truth but wasn't paid enough to speak on it. Ronnie spiraled. He knew something was wrong. He knew Chrisean was avoiding him. He knew the test looked fake. He tried to force the issue, pulling up every time she streamed. Asking for answers she refused to give. The tension between Chrisean and Ronnie escalated until it felt like a soap opera written by someone who hates peace. Ronnie demanded the real test. Chrisean dodged the question. Blueface laughed it off. Zeus capitalized on the mess. Everyone was playing their role in a scandal bigger than any plot twist Lemuel had ever crafted. But the real explosion didn't happen until recently, when Chrisean reportedly threatened Lemuel over unpaid fees. She claimed Zeus still owed her money. Lemuel insisted she breached the contract and deserved nothing. And Chrisean, being Chrisean, didn't take no for an answer. She allegedly started threatening him, demanding her payment, and bragging that she could get people to pull up if necessary. This was the breaking point. Lemuel, who spent years letting chaos roam freely on Zeus, finally snapped. He was tired of the drama, the threats, the accusations, and the chaos surrounding Chrisean. Rumor has it he reached for his last resort, the real DNA test. The one she never wanted anyone to see. The one she supposedly kept hidden. The one that could flip the entire narrative upside down. Insiders claim the real result has been in Lemuel's possession the whole time, locked away like the final boss in a video game. And now, thanks to the escalating threats, he's reportedly ready to expose everything. The truth about Junior's paternity. The real identity of the father. The mastermind behind the fake Zeus test. All of it, fans online are already losing their minds. Some believe Ronnie's ghost will rise, just to say "I told you so." Others think Blueface will collapse under the weight of finally hearing the truth. And a small group still believes Chrisean will scream loud enough to drown out reality itself. Whether the father is Blueface, Ronnie, or the plot twist nobody saw coming, Lemuel supposedly has the evidence to end the debate permanently. What makes the situation even more explosive is the fact that Chrisean has been under fire for threatening Blueface online. After he joked during a 20 versus 1 video that a girl looked like Junior, Chrisean spiraled into rage. She accused him of disrespecting their child. She swore karma would hit him. She promised revenge. She talked like she was narrating a thriller movie where she played both the hero and the villain. The internet watched in horror as she went from hurt to unhinged in a matter of seconds. She claimed she would make Blueface 6 feet under. She described visiting his grave with her son. She threatened violence with the same confidence some people order coffee. The meltdown was so intense that viewers couldn't decide whether to be scared or entertained. That's when Blueface's manager, Whack 100, chimed in, calling her evil, vindictive, and dangerous. He said this wasn't new behavior. He claimed he always knew she was unpredictable. His statements only added gasoline to the fire, painting Chrisean as someone capable of anything when she feels cornered. Then came the revelation about the police raid. Reports surfaced that Chrisean tried to prove she lived at Blueface's house by offering to show clothes in the closet, knowing full well the closet contained items that could get everyone arrested. People accused her of intentionally pointing officers toward hidden weapons. The narrative spiraled out of control, making her look even more irrational. By the time Carlissa, Blueface's mother, announced a restraining order against Chrisean, everyone knew the situation had reached a breaking point. No one in the family wanted her near them. No brand wanted to associate with her. And now, the Zeus CEO was allegedly preparing the final blow. In a twist that feels almost cinematic, the rumor that Lemuel is ready to release the real DNA test has the internet foaming at the mouth. People want answers. They want the truth. They want the moment that flips the entire Chrisean storyline upside down. And with new leaks dropping every hour, it looks like the truth is about to shatter whatever remains of her public image. The moment rumors broke that Lemuel Plummer might expose the real DNA test, the internet didn't just react, it combusted like someone dropped a lit match into a warehouse full of fireworks. Social media erupted with conspiracy threads, memes, edits, and fan theories moving faster than Chrisean blocking people on live. Everyone suddenly became a genetic expert, a detective, a lawyer, and a gossip scholar with a PhD in Zeus network foolishness. People began dragging up every old clip, every weird moment, every suspicious detail they ignored the first time because Zeus had hypnotized them with storyline chaos. They replayed Ronnie showing up to streams, claiming he felt spiritually connected to his child. They replayed Blueface looking confused and exhausted like he was trapped in a plot twist he never signed up for. They replayed Chrisean smiling like she had a secret stored in a vault. It was like the world suddenly realized they might have witnessed the biggest reality TV scam since the era of scripted MTV drama. As memes flooded the timelines, the public split into camps like an emotional civil war. One group insisted Ronnie was the father because he acted like the baby came with his name engraved on it. Another group defended Blueface, saying Zeus pressured him to play along for clout. The third group didn't trust anyone on the show and believed the father might be some mystery man she hasn't fought with yet. The confusion got so intense that people started saying the baby should run his own DNA test just to clear everything up. What made part 2 of this saga so outrageous was the escalating celebrity reactions. Influencers, rappers, and reality stars chimed in like they were auditioning for the role of messenger of mess. Everyone had an opinion. Some laughed about the fake test being exposed. Others sided with Ronnie like he was a fallen hero in a tragedy. A few defended Chrisean, claiming Zeus exploited her chaos for profit. And a handful just posted cryptic tweets so fans would argue in their comments for attention. 1. Artist even joked that Zeus should start selling DNA test merch because the whole NATWRK seemed allergic to real information. Another influencer went viral saying, "If Zeus did my test, I'd still be confused about who my father is." It was comedy gold. At this point, the situation felt less like a scandal and more like a community event where everyone came to enjoy the downfall. Meanwhile, Zeus fans dragged Lemuel for allowing the fake test in the first place. They said he created the problem, fed the chaos, and then pretended to be the hero when it blew up. They compared him to a firefighter who starts the fire and then shows up with a hose for applause. But others argued he was finally cleaning up the mess Chrisean left behind. After all, she had been threatening him nonstop about unpaid fees, acting like Zeus owed her retirement plan. The louder the rumors became, the more people revisited moments that never made sense. They recalled how Chrisean celebrated the fake result a little too hard, like someone who studied lines before filming. They noticed how Blueface's smile looked more like survival acting. They remembered how Ronnie's reaction never got any closure. Everything looked suspicious in hindsight. The storyline was held together with duct tape and delusion. Public outrage grew even bigger when old live streams resurfaced of Ronnie begging for the real DNA test. He looked exhausted, emotional, defeated, and ready to lose his mind. Fans suddenly labeled him the tragic character of the saga. He went from small side character to internet-anointed father figure in 1 week. People started saying he deserved justice, a moment of truth, or at least a refund for all the emotional damage. As the internet spiraled, Chrisean added fuel by continuing to make disturbing threats toward Blueface. Every time she went live, she escalated. She talked about karma. She talked about revenge. She talked like she was narrating a dramatic monologue in a villain origin movie. The threats weren't subtle. They weren't metaphorical. They were loud enough that even people who usually ignore drama started paying attention. The 20 versus 1 moment where Blueface said the girl looked like Junior became the spark that ignited her meltdown. A simple joke turned into a digital wildfire. Meme pages exaggerated the moment with edits, slow-motion clips, and dramatic music, turning an innocent comment into an international incident. Fans argued endlessly about whether Blueface crossed the line or whether Chrisean's reaction was unhinged. Either way, the clip reached places even Wi-Fi can't. Whack 100 entered the chat like he always does, dropping commentary with the confidence of a man who never missed a headline. He painted Chrisean as dangerous, unpredictable, and vindictive. He described old moments where she tried to incriminate Blueface during a police raid. His words were harsh, detailed, and unapologetic, feeding the public's perception of Chrisean as a chaotic force who destroyed everything in her path when Angry.as Wax interviews spread. Fans brought up the restraining order Carlissa announced. It added another level to the storyline. People couldn't believe the entire family had legally banned Chrisean from being anywhere near them. It felt like one of those reality show finales where the villain gets eliminated but keeps finding ways to return every season. Every piece of information made the picture clearer. The situation wasn't just messy, it was radioactive. Brands distancing themselves from Chrisean became the next trending discussion. People noticed she wasn't getting endorsement deals, events, or collaborations anymore. She was being treated like a walking PR nightmare. Some argued that her unpredictable rants scared companies away. Others believed her ongoing drama with multiple people made her a liability. And a bold group insisted the real DNA test would be the final nail in her public career's coffin. In the center of the chaos, Lemuel Plummer looked like a man who accidentally summoned a storm and now wanted to unleash the truth to stop being dragged into it. The idea that he held the real DNA test ignited the internet. Fans wanted him to release it immediately. They begged, tweeted, demanded, and even made countdown graphics as if the reveal were a scheduled awards show. Even celebrities joined the countdown memes, adding jokes like "premiering tonight, who's the real daddy?" The mess had officially crossed into mainstream pop culture. Late-night comedians referenced it. Podcasts debated it. Commentary channels uploaded hour-long deep dives. Everyone wanted to see the downfall, the reveal, the explosion that Zeus had been hiding. The most unhinged theory circulating was that Chrisean allegedly convinced Zeus to fake the test for storyline protection because she knew the truth would damage her more than chaos ever could. According to internet detectives, the real test existed long before filming, but Chrisean refused to accept it. Memes labeled the fake result the greatest prop in Zeus history. Fans joked that it deserved an Emmy for best performance by a sheet of paper. As expectations for Lemuel's alleged bombshell grew, supporters of Ronnie mobilized like they were his campaign team. They said he deserved a public apology from everyone who doubted him. They claimed the universe owed him closure. They said he had been right the whole time and was treated unfairly because people supported the more famous face. On the opposite side, Blueface's supporters claimed he was the innocent bystander forced into Zeus' circus to keep the checks flowing. They said he only played along because the storyline demanded it. They argued he was a victim of manipulation and pressure, trapped in a franchise built on chaos and confusion. The narrative felt like a twisted love triangle none of them wanted to be in. Chrisean was the storm, Ronnie was the believer, and Blueface was the man who wandered into the wrong hurricane. And now Lemuel stood at the center holding a DNA test that could burn the entire storyline to ashes. As the internet prepared for the reveal, comments got darker, jokes got sharper, conspiracies got wilder, and the anticipation reached levels normally reserved for championship games or scandal documentaries. The truth wasn't just expected, it was demanded. People wanted the moment that would reshape every clip, every tweet, Every livestream meltdown. And as rumors continued to grow, one thing became certain. Whoever was in that real DNA test had the potential to end careers, destroy alliances, and rewrite the entire Chrisean Blueface Ronnie timeline in a way no one was ready for. The moment whispers spread that Lemuel Plummer was preparing to drop the real DNA test, the entire Zeus universe entered a quiet, terrifying pause. It was the silence before a storm that promised to flip reputations like cheap dollar store tables. People weren't just expecting drama. They were expecting devastation. Something powerful enough to drag the entire timeline into a black hole of embarrassment and broken narratives. Everyone knew that once the truth came out, nothing about Chrisean's story would ever look the same again. Whichever name was on that real result, the fallout was guaranteed to be catastrophic. If Ronnie turned out to be the father, the internet would resurrect his memory with the force of 1,000 tribute videos. He would go from the ex who wouldn't leave her alone to a man robbed of his truth. Supporters said his ghost might haunt Zeus headquarters, demanding an apology. The sympathy wave would be so strong that people joked he'd trend harder than celebrities who've been alive for decades. Justice for Ronnie would explode into the biggest digital chant since viral protests took over timelines. But if Blueface was the father all along, the narrative would twist in an entirely different direction. Fans would rip Chrisean apart for refusing to accept the truth back then, for dragging both men into chaos, and for turning a real-life paternity situation into a circus act. People would say she used confusion as a shield, drama as a weapon, and storylines as currency. Blueface's supporters would call him a victim of manipulation, a man forced into delusion for the sake of reality TV ratings he never asked for. They'd claim Zeus exploited him as much as they exploited the storyline. Either way, the bombshell would send Chrisean's reputation into freefall. Brands that were already hesitant would officially step back. Companies would avoid her name like it was a legal risk waiting to happen. Public perception would shift from troubled but entertaining to dangerously unpredictable. People would treat her like a human tornado, entertaining from a distance but terrifying up close. No PR team would want to touch a scandal this messy, this loud, or this public. Some fans predicted the aftermath would be even worse behind the scenes. If Lemuel exposed the truth, Chrisean's threats toward him would no longer look like emotional outbursts. They would look like retaliation. They would look calculated. They would look like the rage of someone who feared a truth strong enough to destroy her story. Internet detectives would examine every feud, every live stream, every meltdown with a magnifying glass, searching for signs that she knew the truth all along. The tension around Blueface made the situation even messier. She didn't just threaten him lightly. She spoke like she was reading a villain monologue written for a late-night series. Even people who had tolerated the chaos before began distancing themselves once she started saying she wanted to visit his grave with her child. Those words were so chilling they changed the tone of the entire narrative. It wasn't funny anymore. It wasn't reality TV anymore. It was dangerous. Whack 100's interviews added another layer of impact. He made it seem like Chrisean had a history of using anger as a weapon. He described the police raid moment as if she almost set Blueface up for disaster. These claims made the internet feel like they were looking at a pattern, not isolated drama. People who once saw her as misunderstood started questioning whether they were watching someone who used chaos to control every situation she entered. Carlos's restraining order only deepened the cracks. When an entire family files legal paperwork to avoid someone, it signals the kind of fear that goes beyond petty arguments. The restraining order made Chrisean look like a liability, someone who could show up unannounced and escalate situations without warning. Fans predicted that the DNA reveal would worsen the divide and permanently cut whatever thin thread remained between her and Blueface's world. The consequences for Zeus were equally massive. The fake test scandal already damaged the network's credibility. People accused Lemuel of staging too much, pushing too far, and sacrificing reality for chaotic entertainment. If he exposed the real test, viewers would claim he only did it for revenge or profit. If he didn't expose it, they would call him a coward too scared to tell the truth he helped bury. Either path dragged Zeus into deeper controversy. Even Lemuel's reputation took a hit. Some said he orchestrated the mess from the beginning and was now trying to escape the fallout by throwing Chrisean under the bus. Others argued he was finally taking responsibility for a storyline that spiraled far beyond what he could control. No matter the narrative, his decision would set the tone for Zeus' future. Release the truth, and he becomes either a hero or a villain. Keep it hidden, and the network drowns in suspicion. As the anticipation built, fans predicted multiple outcomes for Chrisean's future. Some believed she would double down, deny everything, go live, cry, scream, blame everyone except herself, and spiral into another viral meltdown. Others thought she would disappear offline, stay silent, avoid cameras, and let things blow over. A bold few believed she might finally confront the truth with a public statement, though nobody knew what honesty from her even looked like anymore. In the relationships around her, the damage was already spreading. Blueface kept his distance, posting subtly or not at all. His silence felt heavy, like a man who refused to give oxygen to chaos he already survived. Ronnie's supporters created tribute content daily, painting him as a misunderstood soul whose truth was stolen by fame and manipulation. Members of Zeus cast called the situation too messy even for us, which is wild considering Zeus built its entire empire on mess. For Junior, the internet's concern grew deeper. Fans argued the child deserved clarity, stability, and protection from the digital circus surrounding his existence. People pointed out how every scandal, fake tests, threats, chaos always dragged his name into the storyline like he was a prop in the plot. This created a new wave of sympathy and frustration. Viewers believed the real DNA test wasn't just gossip, it was a necessary step for the child's well-being. And finally, as the dust began to settle around the rumors, the biggest question remained hanging like a countdown clock. What would happen when the truth came out? Would Chrisean's empire of chaos crumble into ashes? Would Blueface reclaim his narrative? Would Ronnie's legacy be rewritten as a tragic hero? Would Zeus collapse under its own scandals? Or would the truth ignite an entirely new storm nobody saw coming? Whatever the real DNA results said, it was poised to send shockwaves through every corner of the internet. Careers could end. Reputations could be destroyed. Alliances could shift. The narrative could flip upside down in a single moment. This wasn't just paternity drama. It was a storyline ending with a digital explosion so loud the internet would still be discussing it years from now. All eyes were locked on Lemuel Plummer, the man holding the secret capable of ending the era of confusion. And with pressure mounting from every side, the world prepared for a reveal that would redefine everything we thought we knew about Chrisean, Blueface, Ronnie, and the entire chaotic universe Zeus built. And there you have it, the kind of scandal that makes every other celebrity drama feel like kindergarten story time. If Zeus really drops that DNA test, the internet is going to explode harder than Chrisean's live comments after a petty Blueface joke. But before this truth bomb hits the timeline and melts your algorithm, do yourself a favor and smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're dodging paternity papers. And turn on notifications before another Zeus producer decides to fake a document and ruin your whole understanding of biology. Because let's be real, you do not want to miss what drops here next. Scandals roll through this channel faster than Chrisean switches moods in a live stream. 1 minute it's a fake test, the next it's a restraining order, then it's a threat to visit somebody's grave. This universe moves so fast that if you blink, you'll wake up to 10 new plot twists and 3 new enemies. And trust me, you want to be here when the chaos hits in real time. Drop your thoughts in the comments because I need to know what side you're standing on before the truth destroys the timeline. Are you Team Blueface, Team Ronnie, Team Lemuel, or Team Everybody Needs Therapy Immediately? Let me know below, because this comment section is about to look like a digital battlefield and I'm absolutely here for it. Until the next explosion, keep your receipts stacked, your DNA results verified, and your popcorn ready. Because in this world, the truth doesn't just set you free, it starts entire wars. This is Vibe Crave, where scandals never sleep, lies get louder, And the drama always finds a way to get messier. Stay tuned. The next bombshell is already loading.